This is the Beyond the Box dumbbell workout. Before you get into the workout, check out our Instagram post for the warm-up. Want to make sure you start moving a bit and you get the heart rate up and you increase your body temperature before you get into it. For today's workout, we're going to start our strength portion with the Goblet Squat. Now, we're going to change things up a little bit by adding a little bit of tempo. That means that you're going to go down slower than it takes you to stand back up. The tempo is going to be 3 seconds down, 2-second pause in the bottom, 2 seconds to stand up, and a 1-second pause at the top. Just enough time to take a breath and re-brace before you go down to that next rep. We're going to do multiple sets of 6 reps to get adding weight into the Goblet Squat if we can. If you're limited by weight, we have something fairly heavy, then let's use that heavy weight and progress through those multiple sets of 6 reps. Or if we have lots of weights to choose from, then we're going to build up in weight to what we can tolerate for those 6 reps. Now, the tempo will change things. It's time under tension. When we have more time under tension, we actually might end up using a lighter weight because, well, having to hold that weight for a longer period of time, you just might not be able to go as heavy. So the Goblet Squat, you're going to pick up the weight, you're going to hold it under your chin by one end of the dumbbell. There's a couple ways you can hold it, but we want it to look like a goblet or a cup. So pick up the weight, holding it under my chin like this against my chest. So nice and close, keep the weight right around my core, and I'm going to sit my weight back and down. So if you look at me from the side, sit my hips go back just like this much. I don't need to go any further back than this. And then I'm going to sit down, keeping the weight just under my chin. So let's talk about the tempo. Tempo is 3 seconds down. So hit step back and then 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2 seconds at the bottom. 1, 2. Stand up. 1, 2. 1 second at the top. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So notice there's a couple ways that I was counting there. Whatever works for you. I have multiple ways that I count, kind of whatever kind of works for me at any given time. But you're doing multiple sets of 6, working on that tempo. Really, really work at mastering the weight, the time with the weight as you go through the movement. Focus on your positions. Keep the chest up. Don't push the hips too far back, and don't lean too far forward. You have weight in front of you, so you want to stay upright. Once you're done those sets of 6 for the Goblet Squat, we're going to move into the Metcon. We have a 4-time workout. You're going to go through 20 front squats and 40 bent over rows with 60 pounds for the men, 40 pounds for ladies, a little bit heavier than normal. And then you're going to finish off the workout with 60 burpees. So let's talk about the front squats. The front squat, we're going to take the dumbbells from the floor. We're going to bring them up to our shoulders. Make sure that our elbows are nice and high, helping keep the chest up. Again, like the Goblet Squat, you don't want to lean forward too much. You want to keep the chest upright. If I lean forward, that puts all my weight out in front of me and moves my center of gravity out this way, which would then put load on my low back and increases my chances of having a low back injury. Now, that's not going to happen right away, but over time, with poor lifting and poor form, we may have some problems down the line. So, for the front squats, I'm going to pick the weight up, elbows nice and high, and I'm going to go into a squat just like I did with the Goblet Squats. Don't have to worry about tempo. Just sit the heads back and down. Hips back just a little bit and then down. Once you do your 20 reps there, drop the dumbbells to your sides, and you're going to bend over, lowering the weights to just below the knees. Keep the shoulders engaged, so squeezing between my shoulder blades. And I'm going to pull my elbows back, and my hands to my sides for the 40 bent over rows. Trying to bring the dumbbells to make contact with my chest, right at my rib cage. And I'm squeezing my shoulder blades as I pull the elbows back. So you'll do your 40 reps there. Take breaks as needed. 40 is a big number when doing heavy bent over rows. You're probably might want to think of maybe doing 4 sets of 10 or something around those lines. Then you're going to get into 60 burpees. Burpee, chest, thighs touch the ground, and then you're going to jump the feet forward. Try and jump the feet wider than the hips. I'll show you from a couple angles when I do this. I want to make sure we're jumping forward to a flat foot, and then make sure you jump, like when you jump and bring your feet back together and you get the full extension, that we're standing up all the way. We're not staying in a bent over or a somewhat hinged pattern, and we're not looking down at the ground. We're nice and tall, shoulders back, chest up, hips forward, and we're looking straight ahead. So chest to the ground. If you look from this way, watch my feet, watch how wide they are when I jump my feet forward. So wide feet outside of my hands, and then from here, a little bit of a hop and clap to bring everything back underneath me. What you don't want to do is you don't want to stay in a hunched or hinged over position. So when you come up, this doesn't count. You want to make sure you stand all the way up, just like you did in the previous versions. Another one is jumping with your feet too close and landing on your toes. This is not as good of a position as the wide feet. You're on your toes, you have all this weight on your knees, shearing forces down the road could create some complications. So for longevity and for efficiency and for what actually feels good and will lead to better results, wide flat feet when you jump out of the burpee. All right, 4-time, 20 front squats, 40 bent over rows, and 60 burpees. Have fun and get after it.